In this video, I'm going to review the Olympus E-M5 Mark III and give my opinion on it and if I think it is a good camera for wildlife and macro photography. The Olympus E-M5 Mark III is a compact, lightweight micro four thirds camera that offers a strong set of features for both wildlife and macro photography enthusiasts. I'm going to break down its performance in both wildlife and macro photography, but before I get into that, I'm going to talk about the design and the build quality of the camera. The E-M5 Mark III features a lightweight polycarbonate body that is significantly easier to carry during extended outdoor shoots compared to heavier DSLRs. Its weather-sealed design ensures protection against dust, moisture, and freezing temperatures, which is a key advantage for wildlife photographers working in challenging conditions. The front grip is smaller than most cameras, so I see how someone wouldn't be a big fan of it, especially if you are used to DSLR cameras, but I personally don't have any issues with the grip. I also really like the button layout. It allows for easy access to important settings and functions. I like that the ISO button is on top. It makes adjusting it quickly much easier when I'm out in the field. The battery life is pretty average. I highly recommend buying extra batteries if you plan on being outside for long periods of time. Overall, I really like the build quality of the camera. No complaints. The first genre I'm going to cover is wildlife photography. I'm going to start with the good things first. The first good feature I will talk about is the fast autofocus. The E-M5 Mark III features a 121-point phase detection autofocus system, which performs well for tracking moving wildlife. It's quick and generally accurate, especially when paired with pro lenses like the Zuiko 40 to 150mm and the 300mm f4 Pro. The camera is ideal for field work. The camera's weather-sealed body can withstand challenging outdoor conditions without adding much weight to your gear. With up to 10 frames per second with a mechanical shutter and 30 frames per second with electronic shutter, it can capture fast action effectively. One of Olympus's strongest features, the in-body image stabilization, helps significantly when using telephoto lenses without a tripod. The camera also has a silent shutter mode, which can be very helpful if you are trying to be as quiet as possible and not disturb the wildlife you are trying to photograph. There are a couple of cons that I have. They're nothing major, but they're still cons nonetheless, with the first one being is buffer limitations. Shooting bursts at high frame rates fills the buffer quickly, especially with RAW files, which can slow down shooting. The next con that I have is the small sensor for micro four thirds, which results in less dynamic range and low light performance compared to APS-C or full frame cameras, which matters in dawn and dusk wildlife scenarios. While the camera does have face and eye detection, it does not have animal eye detection like OM1 cameras. The E-M5 Mark III relies on general face and eye detection, which may work for some animal subjects, but won't specifically track or focus their eyes like newer cameras. The photo quality you can get with this camera really depends on the lens you are using, but you can take some crazy sharp images with it depending on what lens you are using. I'll have a list of recommended lenses up on the screen right now. The lens I currently use for wildlife photography is the Olympus 300mm lens, and it is a very good lens in my opinion. If you want to learn more about that lens, then I have a video where I review and compare both the 300mm lens and the Olympus 100 to 400mm lens. In my opinion, the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and I do think this camera is a great choice for wildlife photography. I originally decided to upgrade to this camera because I felt like it was time for a better camera to improve my macro photography, and I have not been disappointed one bit with it. The 5-axis stabilization is extremely helpful for handheld macro shots, allowing for more flexibility in composition and technique. Not only is it very helpful with handheld photography, but it is also extremely helpful with macro videography. These videos you're seeing, I was able to film handheld with minimal movement thanks to the 5-axis stabilization. The main reason why I wanted this camera was because I knew it had a focus bracketing system, which I knew would make focus stacking much easier for me since I do a lot of focus stacking. So if you are someone who does a lot of focus stacking, then I do recommend getting a camera that has a focus stacking and bracketing system because it will make it much easier than doing them manually. If you want to learn more about focus bracketing, then I have a video that covers this feature much more in depth if you are interested. The lightweight build of the camera makes it easier to maneuver and hold for long periods, especially when working close to the ground or in tight spaces. The macro photo quality you can achieve with this camera is also very sharp. I'll have a list of recommended lenses on the screen right now. The lens I currently use is the 60mm, and it is a great lens choice if you go that route. The E-M5 Mark III paired with the 60mm is one of the lightest macro photography setups on the market, so if you are going for a very lightweight setup, I recommend this setup. I have a video review on the 60mm lens if you want to learn more about that lens. I've had this camera for almost 3 years now, and I can say that it is a very solid performer for both wildlife and macro photography, and it is particularly appealing for photographers who value portability, advanced stabilization, and in-camera computational features. While its smaller sensor and buffer limitations may pose some drawbacks, these are balanced by its intelligent design and practical tools, making it a great choice for enthusiasts looking for a versatile, field-ready camera system. If you own this camera or you have used it in the past, then let me know in the comments what you think about it.